up on AgweekTV, potato giant RDO takes on the White Earth tribe in a federal lawsuit over ag water use. Avian influenza is one of the factors giving cattle markets the jitters right now. We'll meet some high school boys who hit the road this time of year to help with branding season. And we'll see how controlled burns are being used to restore South Dakota's disappearing grasslands. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. A battle over ag water use in northwest Minnesota is heating up. R.D. Offit Farms has filed a civil lawsuit in a federal court asking for clarity on who regulates water use on the White Earth Nation. Offit has been a major potato grower in that area for decades. Mikkel Pates has more on this complicated issue.
Last May, the White Earth Nation passed a water ordinance that gives the tribe jurisdiction over all high-capacity water use on the reservation and in a 5-mile buffer belt around it. It applies to all land and water users, even if they have permits from the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources. RDO is one of the world's largest potato producers and has owned or leased land in that area for 40 years. It irrigates those lands, but the lawsuit claims it could take years to get a water permit under the new rule, so it poses an immediate and catastrophic threat to RDO farms. The lawsuit asks the court to find that White Earth does not have the authority to regulate the company's water use on or off the reservation. This isn't the first case about the permits. White Earth is suing Monoman farmer David Vipond over water usage issues. Vipond says he expects the matter to go to the U.S. Supreme Court. For AgWeek, this is Mikkel Pates at White Earth.
RDO claims it has seldom used its full allotment of water for irrigation. In April, the Minnesota DNR released a groundwater management report that shows aquifer levels in that area have remained stable for years. Branding season is a busy time for ranchers. That's why one group of boys in western North Dakota lends their neighbors some extra hands. In this week's AgWeek cover story, Ariana Schumacher takes us to Bowman, North Dakota to learn more.
Each year, the Bowman Branding Company consists of around a dozen high school boys who travel around the community to help their neighbors during branding season. It's a tradition that's been a part of the community for roughly 20 years.
It's kind of been a tradition here in Bowman, so we're just carrying it on. All we do is go around the corner of the state and help ranchers. They'll call us and let us know they need branding help, and we love doing it. We get out of school, make $1, and it works good for both of us.
The crew helps with all aspects of branding day that the ranchers need.
Oh, we usually get here and sometimes we have to help gather and sort, but most times we just have to come here and wrestle.
Area ranchers appreciate the boys' help.
Well, it's good. It used to be we had enough neighbors with enough big families that we always had a big crew, but now we're starting to have to get a few more of these kids coming, and their branding crew gets passed down every year. Somebody else is in charge, so we still like to do it the old way and drag them and do a bunch of them pretty fast. And so we appreciate these kids coming out.
It gives the crew a chance to get more ranch experience and work alongside their friends, helping the community.
I think, a lot of them are country kids and they grew up with it, but they've also bringing some with them that grew up in town, so they learn how to do it, and they all kind of know their job and they're pretty good at it.
Oh, I enjoy roping. It gives me a chance to practice and work on that skill, which I can use in the ranch at home and roping calves and doctoring in the pasture as well. And it's a great thing. It's lots of neighbors you're helping out and kind of helping out the community too, and it's a great deal.
In Bowman, North Dakota, I'm Ariana Schumacher for AgWeek.
You can read more in the next AgWeek magazine or at agweek.com. The future cattle markets have been jittery, with outside factors being the driving force. Weather, geopolitical issues, and the spread of high-path avian influenza are a few of the motivators impacting the market.
Now we throw in the Middle East war, and that seems to be escalating and so on over there. And whenever some news of that comes out, certainly the market responds to that, and again doesn't like uncertainty. So all those geopolitical issues are affecting the market. Then when we go to high-path avian influenza, that's been lately in the last month or so of what's really been affecting the market.
The USDA is going to start testing some hamburger in stores that may have been sourced from dairy cattle to see if it might contain fragments of HPAI. Petrie says this announcement had a big effect on future cattle markets. Up next on AgweekTV, we kick off our Women in Ag series with a young Minnesota woman preparing to take over the family farm.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Power Rich Fertilizer is a leading provider of macro and micronutrient fertilizers customized for you. Our products, including granular and liquid foliars, are designed to enhance your crop's yield and disease resistance. We're here to help you get the most out of your crop with our incredible products. To learn more, call Steve Jerolimic at 701-799-2672. Discover the Power Rich difference. Contact us today.
Conservation is work worth doing here in North Dakota, but with so many conservation groups and resources, it can be hard to find the information that's most beneficial to you. That's why the Dakota Legacy Initiative was created, to equip producers and landowners with timely, relevant, and streamlined information, all in one place. This helps preserve North Dakota's legacy of agriculture, conservation, legendary land, and water. See where collaborative conservation begins. Visit DakotaLegacyInitiative.com today.
The simplicity, I mean, it's a complicated planter, but it's also simple. That row meter is just very simple and it just seems to work. I liked it just having that tube delivering the seed with an airstream and not having to have extra belts on it or extra electric motors and stuff. A lot of this machinery seems like it's almost getting overly complicated. The simpler that it can work, but do what it's supposed to do, I think this machine can definitely do that.
Dig, lay, and bury drain tile all in one pass with the Crary Tile Pro Plow. The Crary Tile Pro Plow lays tile up to 7 feet deep with boot sizes of 4 to 12 inches. Advantages of installing drain tile to your field provides increased overall yield, improved soil moisture levels, and controls soil erosion. It pays to tile with a Crary Tile Pro. To locate a dealer near you, visit www.crarytilepro.com.
AgWeek's Women in Ag series is sponsored by USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service of Minnesota, Peterson Farm Seed, Minnesota Farm Bureau, and Minnesota Soybean Research and Promotional Council.
Women have always played a significant role in agriculture. In our Women in Ag series, we will be highlighting women in agriculture all around our region. To kick off the series, I traveled to Northwest Minnesota.
I always knew I wanted something to do with the farm, but I wasn't sure, how I would fit my way into it.
Carrie Olson grew up on her family's farm in Hawley, Minnesota. She is the 4th generation to tend to the farm's soil, and now she's taking over the reins of the operation.
We're currently in the process of transitioning the farm over to me. We farm corn, soybeans, spring wheat, a little over 2,000 acres, and recently venturing into some cattle. That's kind of a new piece I added in last year. So.
After Carrie's dad had a health scare, the family began the process of transitioning the farm. Though it hasn't been an easy process, it has been a rewarding one.
Transitioning a farm, and I would say that is probably the toughest, but also the most satisfying part of farming, to watch that next generation come up and how proud I am.
Carrie is thankful for never feeling pressure from her family to take over the farm.
My dad and my grandpa never put the pressure on us kids to have to be here. But at the same time, you put that pressure on yourself. You don't want to be the generation that ends the farm. So that is a good feeling.
Carrie's sister Nicole is also active on the farm. She fills in wherever she's needed.
My sisters and I have kind of seen that one person kind of needs to run the operation, and we feel that that's an important thing for our family. And that's where I just felt like I wasn't the right fit, but my sister was the right fit for it. And I think she's doing a great job moving forward and looking at that.
Seeing a woman at the helm of a farming operation may not be the norm, but Carrie is up for the challenge.
My world, like, my gender doesn't define me. You know, I don't want to be treated differently, and I just have to prove to all those people that I am capable of doing it. But I would say I'm just very lucky for this opportunity and to have a dad and a grandpa that are so open-minded to, you know, allow a girl onto their operation and allow me to, you know, expand into this cattle business or whatever my future holds, that they're to support me, and as well as my whole entire family.
Carrie is a graduate from NDSU with a degree in Ag-Econ. Grasslands are disappearing across the upper Midwest, but what remains is still important to the ecosystems and wildlife. As Kennedy Tesh reports, the Nature Conservancy and South Dakota State University Extension are holding burn schools to teach landowners how to safely manage their grasslands.
Prescribed fire is really important in any kind of our grassland management.
At one time, South Dakota was nearly covered by grasslands. Over time, more and more of it was turned over to farmland and urban development. But one partnership in the state is holding burn schools to train private landowners and government agencies to help care for the remaining grasslands.
Fire, weather, climate, all those sorts of things affect our grasslands. And we can't really change climate, we can't really change the weather, but what we can change is our management on those lands.
Prescribed burns use a tool as old as time, but it has to be managed with caution.
Prescribed fire helps do a reset button, basically what it does. So we're actually trying to target when we burn, target the species that we want to control, whether that be our cool season grasses and or our woodies that are invading our grasslands.
The grasslands ecosystem plays an important role by providing habitat for nesting birds and diversity for pollinators, insects, and other wildlife. Prescribed burns restore prairies to what they were, making them a functional part of the environment again.
We teach the ecology of that. We teach the pros and cons. We teach using the tool to accomplish, really pursue what you want as well as negate what you don't want. And then we address wildlife issues as well.
In Astoria, South Dakota, this is Kennedy Tesh for AgWeek.
For more information about prescribed burns, contact any NRCS or USDA office. Ahead on AgweekTV, important information about nutrients your soil needs.
Do you have nutrient deficiency issues? We can help. Let's talk.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
Do you have salty fields? Try calcine.
We've been putting it on some of our worst spots, and every year you see more bushels, greener crop, healthier crop. Some land down by the river, they almost had to take out of production. We've been able to use calcine and bring it back to equal to the rest of the fields. Calcine mixes with basically anything. We put it down with our starter fertilizer. We've mixed it with herbicides. We've applied it broadcast. We've applied it banded. So it's worked in pretty much any capacity, and there's no volatility issues. So it's a very easy to use product.
Let's talk. Visit us at EricksonCustomOperations.com.
Attention farmers, increase your revenue and prevent compaction from squeezing your profits with PTG's Central Tire Inflation System, now offered at OK Tire and Service. All controlled from the tips of your fingers, ensuring increased yield and improved fuel economy by adjusting your tire pressure within minutes. You are ensuring the best performance from your tractor on the field and off the field, compatible with any radial tire. Call the OK Tire team today or visit oktireinc.com to learn more.
Spray Advantage is a full-line, full-service dealer with everything you need for fertilizer and chemical applications, like electronics from Microtrack and Raven, pumps by Banjo and John Blue, a full line of poly parts, tanks, and spray tips. We support the equipment we sell with factory-trained service technicians and a well-stocked parts department. It's our commitment to offer you quality products at competitive prices with the best financing options available. Spray Advantage, proudly serving North Dakota and Minnesota.
You got salty soils? We can help. Let's talk. AgWeek Weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
Are these warmer days here to stay? Here's John with our Agro-weather outlook.
We enter the middle part of May now with a relatively tranquil weather pattern, particularly with regard to temperature. It's looking fairly May, not a lot of particularly cold air coming down, not a lot of particularly warm air, at least no real hot air building into most of the United States. There will be some rain systems around, but overall the stormy weather that we've had earlier this spring is beginning to show some signs of settling just a little bit. So the lighter precipitation with more even temperatures, I think, will be, for the most part, fairly favorable regarding most of the Great Plains, Midwest agricultural scene, finishing up spring planting and field work, giving those crops a chance to get rolling without too much superheat right away. Starting off the forecast with some fairly warm weather, but not really extraordinary. The only real temperatures approaching 90 are down along the coast and in Texas and in the Mojave Desert, where that kind of thing is fairly typical this time of year. There will be a weather system that will bring some rain-cooled air into the northern plains and southern Canada midweek, but it's mostly just that rain-cooled air. I doubt there will be much, if any, frost with this. It's not going to be that cold of an air mass, just some cooler days with some clouds around. Not saying there won't be a scattered frost somewhere, but it does not look like anything widespread. And we'll continue to see most of the central part of the Midwest somewhere between mild and pleasantly warm. We'll keep the hot weather down south, and I really don't see any excessive hot weather showing up in this forecast period. The coldest weather in the North American continent, with the exception of the high Arctic, will be the areas around Hudson Bay, which is classic, and of course the higher elevations of the mountains. Just not a lot of incredibly cold air to look at right now. The Southwest definitely heating up. That's going to be pushed southward, be shunted southward as a little troughing starts to appear somewhere along the second week of the forecast period. That'll be along the West Coast. Some ridging in the middle, but I just don't see this turning into a hot weather pattern. A lot of this will be weather in the 70s, maybe a stray temp up around 80, but it just doesn't seem like we're going to see anything particularly hot setting up. Precipitation. This week, we're starting off with some showers around the first part of the week in the northern plains. I see maybe a couple of weather systems over the central corn belt this week, producing showers and thunder showers. Not a lot of excessive rain, it doesn't look like. A little area of mountain snow, mostly in the Canadian Rockies, and the southwest and the west coast looking fairly dry. Now, in the second week, we do shift to some troughing in the southwestern part of the country, but this time of year, it's hard to get rain out there. Fairly widespread showers and thunderstorms, southern plains, central Midwest, and eastern part of the country, but it doesn't look like a lot of this will be excessive rainfall.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single healthcare, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
North Dakota's conservation agencies have joined forces to better serve producers and landowners. The Dakota Legacy Initiative brings conservation resources together in one easy-to-navigate website. Easily find programs, events, technical assistance, and educational materials most relevant to you. Come see where collaborative conservation begins. Learn more at DakotaLegacyInitiative.com.
The simplicity, I mean, it's a complicated planter, but it's also simple. That row meter is just very simple and it just seems to work. I liked it just having that tube delivering the seed with an airstream and not having to have extra belts on it or extra electric motors and stuff. A lot of this machinery seems like it's almost getting overly complicated. The simpler that it can work, but do what it's supposed to do, I think this machine can definitely do that.
Dig, lay, and bury drain tile all in one pass with the Crary Tile Pro Plow. The Crary Tile Pro Plow lays tile up to 7 feet deep with boot sizes of 4 to 12 inches. Advantages of installing drain tile to your field provides increased overall yield, improved soil moisture levels, and controls soil erosion. It pays to tile with a Crary Tile Pro. To locate a dealer near you, visit www.crarytilepro.com.
Welcome back to AgweekTV. Joining me now is Sherry Cook with Mosaic. Sherry, tell me a little bit about what Mosaic is and what you guys do.
Mosaic is a fertilizer company. And the last couple of years, we've actually changed our focus a bit. We produce millions of tons of dry fertilizer for farmers to use out in their fields. And then now we've also purchased and we are selling a biological and getting into that part of the realm as well.
What are some of the products that Mosaic sells?
We make a ton of MAP, DAP type products and potash. So we are the world's largest final producer of phosphate and potash. And so we also have a performance line of products as well. So Micro Essentials is our brand. We have several types of Micro Essentials where we have enhanced phosphate. So some of them have just sulfur and some of them also have zinc. And zinc, by the way, is the #1 most deficient micronutrient in the world. And then we also have an enhanced potash product, the only enhanced potash in the world today. So it's potash that's enhanced with boron. And boron's the #2 most deficient micronutrient in the world.
Soil health is paramount for farmers to see a desirable yield at the end of harvest season. What are some suggestions you guys have been giving farmers?
First and foremost, be prepared. Have those soil tests ready. Make sure you have your recommendations together. So when you call your local retailer that you're ready to go, and keep that communication line open. And that's key, and that's probably one of the most important things. And so once you know what your crop needs, these aren't necessarily always the times to build what we have in the soil, but I oftentimes will recommend to farmers, be sure you're feeding the crop that you're shooting for.
Mosaic has a YouTube series.
We do, and it's called Advanced Crop Nutrition with Sherry. And so it's been gobs of fun to be able to go out, and we are trying to make crop nutrition simple because there's too many things that can get complicated in the farming world, and we all know that. And so we are interviewing folks in our research and development, farm economists, down at the local level, interviewing folks that are getting fertilizer from their plants out to the farm. Stay tuned, it's going to be lots of fun, and we'll be running it for the next year, and we'll see how things go, and it's been just a blast.
And for those interested in contacting you, what is the best way to do that?
Best way is to go to our website, which is cropnutrition.com. They can get a hold of any of the technical sales managers like myself. All of our information is housed there.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Sherry.
Thank you.
Sherry Cook. Still ahead on AgweekTV, new research shows honey can be an effective antibiotic.
Do you have nutrient deficiency issues? We can help. Let's talk.
Attention farmers, increase your revenue and prevent compaction from squeezing your profits with PTG's Central Tire Inflation System, now offered at OK Tire and Service. All controlled from the tips of your fingers, ensuring increased yield and improved fuel economy by adjusting your tire pressure within minutes. You are ensuring the best performance from your tractor on the field and off the field, compatible with any radial tire. Call the OK Tire team today or visit oktireinc.com to learn more.
Do you have nutrient deficiency issues? Use AgweEK nanotechnology.
The nanotechnology is able to get in the plant quicker and faster. We apply it a couple different times throughout the year depending on which crop it is. It's used, like I say, in spring. We use it in furrow with the sugar beets. We apply some of it as a foliar late season in the sugar beet harvest. We apply it as a foliar and as in furrow with the beans too, so it can be used spring, fall, late fall. We've used it all the seasons.
Let's talk. Visit us at EricksonCustomOperations.com.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
You got salty soils? We can help. Let's talk.
There have been issues lately about the effectiveness of antibiotics. That's why researchers at Dakota State University are looking at antimicrobial potential of alfalfa honey against human and plant diseases.
And right now, the antimicrobial resistance problem around the world is so big, so exploring different options for antimicrobial treatment is a good research.
Researchers compared alfalfa honey to other varieties of honey, like Manuka honey, and they concluded that alfalfa honey is just as good or sometimes even better. They are also testing alfalfa honey to see if it is effective against alfalfa pathogens.
You would convert these defensins, so those are the antimicrobial compounds that we're looking at right now. You would convert those defensins into biofungicides or biopesticides. And the defensins we're working with that are in the alfalfa honey actually come from honeybees. So these honeybee proteins could be converted into some type of antibacterial treatment, whether it's for plants or humans.
Alfalfa honey is 1/3 of the honey produced in the United States and is common in South Dakota and surrounding states. Bravo will be presenting her research findings in Atlanta this summer. Stories you'll only see on AgWeek.com and AgWeek magazine this week. Federal legislation takes aim at EID rules, and a Minnesota farming nonprofit expands. We appreciate you watching AgweekTV. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a wonderful week, everyone.